Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. I'm Davey, and welcome to Fan Theories with Davey. This might turn into a series, it might not, but right now it's kind of just an excuse for me to talk about what I'm going to talk about. My favorite gangster movie of all time, my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie there is, and depending on when you ask me, my second or third favorite movie of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pulp Fiction. Normally when you hear about fan theories for Pulp Fiction, it's usually...
What's in the briefcase?
Yes, it's usually what's in the briefcase. Well, I propose a different way of thinking, which is, fuck the case. The case doesn't matter, the case is not important. Whether it's just something valuable that's shiny or Marcellus Wallace's soul, it has exactly as much to do with the plot as it already does, regardless of what's inside. Leave the case alone, it's just a plot device, it doesn't matter. Now, my fan theory concerns more the overarching plot of Pulp Fiction, which it's very kind of spread apart because it's telling different stories from different points of view, spread across several different moments in time. It's not told chronologically, and it's kind of told with loose strings tying each other together. But I thought of a possibility that maybe they're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And I thought of this, that they maybe are all connected through Ezekiel 25:17, the Bible verse that Jules Winfield says before he executes the hit on Brett at the beginning of the movie. If you don't know, it's not a real Bible verse, but it's maybe one of the most beautiful pieces of writing in all of American cinema. And it goes a little something like this. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper, and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who would attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know that my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. It's a really badass piece of writing, and it's probably the best line in the entire movie. But it's more than that, I think. Because we hear the line 3 times throughout the entire movie. We hear it once at the beginning, once when we return to that scene, and once at the very end. And not only do we hear it multiple times, which would be enough to cause you to think a little bit more about it, but Tarantino actually invites you to think more about it. At the end of the movie, Jules is talking to Ringo, and he's saying that originally he thought the verse was just some cold-blooded shit to say to a cat before he busts a cap in his ass. But lately he's started to think more about what it meant. And I think that really is inviting the watcher to also think more about what it has to do with the plot of the story. And what I think it has to do is, I came up with 2 theories. The verse tells us about 4 types of men. The righteous man, the selfish man, the evil man, and the weak man. Now, one theory I came up with, which is a little bit of a stretch, but I feel the need to tell you about it. One theory I came up with is the four characters that are more at the forefront of the story are the 4 characters. Jules being the righteous man, Vincent being the weak man, Marcellus Wallace being the evil man, and Butch being the selfish man. That's an interesting way of thinking about it, but I also thought of a different theory. Because the theory that I just said has a little bit of a few holes in it. Another theory I thought of was that it's giving us an opportunity to see each and every one of the main characters in each of the stories. It's giving us an opportunity to see them as each of these men. It is giving us an opportunity to see them as the righteous man, the weak man, the selfish man, and the evil man. Jules Winfield, for example, he is the evil man at the beginning when he kills Brett. He is the weak man when they kill Marvin and he doesn't know what to do and he has to call Marcellus for help. He's the righteous man when he convinces Ringo to stop robbing banks and go about his life in a more peaceful manner. And he is the selfish man whenever he gets into an argument with Vincent. He never really accepts another opinion. And whenever he's talking to Vincent and in an argument with him and is proven wrong, his only way to say that, yes, you've got me, is just, fuck you. He doesn't admit that he's wrong. He just says, fuck you. Vincent Vega has his opportunities as well. He too is the evil man in the moment when he kills Brett at the beginning with Jules. He's the weak man when he goes out with Mia and he starts to kind of realize that he's falling in love with her. He's the selfish man. He's the selfish man when he denies the existence of divine intervention, when they witness a miracle, when they are shot at multiple times and not a single shot lands, and there are clearly bullet holes right behind where that should have hit them. And he denies divine intervention. He denies the existence of miracles. He thinks that he walks this path alone. And he is the righteous man when he saves Mia Wallace from her drug overdose. Butch is the selfish man when he takes the bribe from Marcellus to take the fall in the fight. He is the weak man when he succumbs to pride and wins the fight anyway. He's the evil man when he tries to run down Marcellus in the middle of the street and blow his head off in the pawn shop. And he is the righteous man when he saves Marcellus Wallace from being raped, even though Marcellus Wallace has been trying to kill him this whole time. And even Marcellus Wallace has each of his opportunities. He's the selfish man when he tries to fix the fight with Butch. He is the righteous man when he lets Butch go at the end of it, even after all he's been through. He's the weak man when he is taken and raped, and he is the evil man when he puts the hit out on Butch. Each of these characters is given their opportunity to play each of these roles, and it really is interesting to think about, because the reason I think about it is because, once again, we hear the line 3 times. Authors don't just do that. They don't just have a line appear in their text 3 times unless they want you to think about it, unless they want it to play a significant role in their story. I think that a simple line that could mean nothing, taken and to make it mean everything, is one of the greatest things any writer can do. And the story of Pulp Fiction is great in and of itself. But to say that it just means nothing, to say that they're not connected, to say that the story is inconsequential, I think is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. And the fact that there is so much depth to this incredibly simple and almost inconsequential story makes it so much more for me. And it's kind of why in my opinion, Pulp Fiction was, and always will be Quentin Tarantino's greatest film. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, dislike it and tell me what you thought. Tell me how I can improve this series, and let me know movies that I could maybe look at and come up with a fan theory for. And share on Facebook and do all the fun social media stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy.